Hey, what's going on? So now that the two-post lift is finally done, installed, I decided to start working on the VR4. About 6 months ago, I ordered a bunch of suspension parts because I want to put it all back to factory height and everything like that. So that way the all-wheel steering and everything works, four-wheel steering. So I was able to, actually I had to get some stock VR4 front struts. And when I drove down to San Jose for the wheels, they had those actually off of a 97 that they happened to part out. That was the closest one I could find. But I needed this piece. It's been removed from here, but I needed that piece and then some of the bracketry that was lost because what the previous owner had installed was these things right here, these adjustable coilovers, which are kind of garbage because they don't even work with the eccentric to adjust the camber, so it doesn't work. And then they had these wheels on it right here. I drove all over the place. I took a trip almost to Sacramento and then another trip to San Jose to find the factory wheels. And they're not even in that great a shape, but they are the factory ones that came on this car, which were really hard to find. They're actually two-piece, which is kind of unique right there. You see the groove, they're actually in two-piece. One of these days I'll probably have them re-chromed. But yeah, so the driver's side's all pretty much done. That one's okay. Swapped out the coil, put a new upper bearing on there. KYB strut, factory strut, pretty much, but KYB, which is really good. It's made in Japan and everything. So pretty much suits the factory specs for the car. Even new bump stop up there, whatnot. But what I noticed was, the guy that was working on it previously, the previous owner, of course, he didn't put, the wheel speed sensor for the ABS, traction control and everything, and he didn't actually put on the factory clips because they're missing on those struts, so it completely ripped apart the wiring there. So I'll have to tackle that later. I'll order a wheel speed sensor, or I might just, unbolt this and then take off this plastic piece right here and then put an extension wire in there, solder it all back together and put some environmental heat shrink. Because this is probably a factory Mitsubishi wheel speed sensor, and sometimes the aftermarket ones are not within tolerance and flag a bunch of weird faults. But yeah, and then also I noticed the guy, he had the hardware all mixed up, but that's all straight now. Everything's good there. See the way the eccentric works right there? It has to work with a factory strut to actually adjust the camber. Rotating there, that won't work on the aftermarket coilovers. And then also I noticed whoever replaced the axle, they forgot to put the washer right here. It's actually a lock washer, so I'll push out the castle nut to the correct length, so that way you can use the cotter pin. But yeah, so just a poor workmanship, the guy that was working on it prior. But anyways, yeah, so next weekend I'll fix that wheel speed sensor, or I'll just replace it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, these other wheels that were on there, they had to use spacers and everything, just garbage. And then after I finish the front, then I'll go ahead and tackle the back. I have the same place I picked up the front struts with the original coilovers and adapter. I got the rear ones as well. So yeah, I'll use the coils from those because they're from a 97 VR4. And then I got the brand new KYB struts as well. And then I'll probably put all these aftermarket pieces, the adjustable coilovers for the front and rear, try to sell those. Maybe somebody might have some use for them, for whether a 3000 GT or some other application. I'll also put these, it'll be a set of 4 up for sale too. I mean, the tires are good. So there's my assistant right there. But yeah, anyways, so I'll eventually put those up for sale. Hopefully I can just get rid of them because now I got the factory one. So slowly but surely, I'll work on this project. But the first thing to do is to get it at factory ride height. And then also I noticed underneath on the car that, the exhaust isn't even completely connected, the incorrect bolts. And then also the third drive shaft, or the drive shaft's in about 3 pieces. And there's a third bearing, and that's all loose too. So I'll have to order that, and then all the gaskets and everything for the exhaust, and then change all the fluids and then see where it's at. It currently runs, but it doesn't run that hot, so we'll see what we can do with it. But first things first, just get it level height, factory height. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the VR4 project right now.